Welcome back to Textiles and Treasures. Today I'm going to share what I found after leaving the estate sale in my previous video. There was a yard sale just down the street as well as the Sunday flea market. On my way home, I decided to stop off at Goodwill as well because they have a weekend special where you get $5 off a $20 purchase. In this haul, you'll see quite a variety of items. You'll definitely get a sense for me and my interests. Let's get started. After leaving the estate sale, I spotted some signs for a yard sale, so I decided to stop in. The first thing I saw at the yard sale was this really cool moose votive holder. People in the area seem to really love their moose and deer. I thought this was really cool. I thought it would look nice at Christmas, and I thought it was a really nice way to display a votive candle. This moose was 50 cents. I also spotted this very pretty floral bowl, as you can see here. I liked the design of this bowl. I liked the pottery around the outside, the fact that there's some lines around the inside, and I also, of course, liked the flower design. This bowl is marked Stengel Pottery Country Garden, which probably refers to the design. I'm not that familiar with Stengel pottery. I had picked up a couple of other Stengel pottery items a couple of weeks before at another estate sale, but I really liked the size and shape of this bowl and decided to get it. Unfortunately, I didn't realize at the time that it has a big chip here on the handle, but I only paid $1 for this bowl, so it wasn't a big deal. I also saw this atomic style cake plate and decided to get it as well. I recognized this design as anchor hawking, and I really liked the gold pattern all around the starburst of this cake stand. As you can see here, it is a footed cake stand, and it'll be nice to display pastries or cake or things like that. I paid $2 for this cake stand. Last but not least, I decided to get this very big cribbage board. I grew up playing cribbage with my family and my grandfather, and so I have good memories of the game, and I like picking up these nice wooden boards whenever I see them. This board is by Century Continuous Track Cribbage, and as you can see, it is a sizable board. This board came with all the pieces, and so I paid $2 for it. In the end, I paid $5 total, which means I got this little moose for free. Next, I headed down the street to the Sunday flea market. It was about noon when I arrived, but there were still tons of vendors at the flea market. Otherwise, I would have just kept on going. There's one vendor who has excellent taste in jewelry, and so I decided to take some time to look at what she was selling. The first thing I spotted was this pretty brooch. As you can see here, there's a nice floral design. This is a peach colored brooch, although it may be a little bright for you to be able to see that color here. Let's see. And I just thought it was a really pretty pin. But I have to admit what caught my attention was on the back. As you can see here, it says Occupied Japan, which dated it to the 40s. This pin was marked $5, and the woman was honest and told me that's because it says Made in Occupied Japan. That's also what attracted me to the pin. The next thing I decided to get was this pretty pair of sterling earrings. You may recognize these earrings as the ones I've been wearing in this video. As you can see here, they're a pretty teardrop design with a flower and a little stone here, which may be moonstone or something similar, and I just thought they were really cute. You may be able to see here that they're marked 925 on the back. As you may have noticed, I wear a lot of sterling jewelry, and I felt like I needed a little upgrade to my collection. I paid $5 for these earrings. I also decided to pick up this sterling pendant. As you can see here, this has a really unusual design, and it's a nice solid piece of sterling. There's a little pearl of some sort here in the middle of the design. This pendant is marked 925 on the back. The pendant also came with this sterling chain, which is marked 925 on the clasp here. This pendant and chain were marked $15, and I decided to get it because I needed a new chain. I like the length of the chain, and I really like this simple but elegant design. Like I said, I wear a lot of silver, and I tend to wear the same pendants over and over again, and I needed a new one to freshen up my collection. I also picked up this little sterling bracelet. As you can see here, there's a sun and a moon and a star. And I really liked this simple bracelet because it actually fit me. I have really tiny wrists, and a lot of bracelets don't actually fit me. This bracelet is marked sterling on one of the clasps. It's really hard to see, and this was marked $3. You can see the bracelet here. Because I was purchasing several items, she gave me a deal, so I paid $25 for all of those pieces of jewelry. As I continued to browse at the flea market, I spotted this really adorable item. I saw this really cute squirrel, and I had never seen this type of figurine before. This is marked on the bottom, Products Arts in Stone, Holland, and you can see the old price tag for $3.50 on the bottom. This had a $3 price tag on the vendor's table, but I paid $2 for this cute little squirrel. The next two items I picked up at the flea market were were vintage games. Unfortunately, the vendor had been caught in a torrential downpour that happened at the flea market the week before. I was really glad I didn't go then. So the boxes of these games did get damaged, but that's why he was selling them for just $1. These are vintage games from the 1970s. This one is Press Ups, and this is a very simple game. This is made by the same people who made Mastermind. This game is called Black Box. As you can see here, it looks pretty interesting. There are quite a few steps to this game, and I haven't played it yet, but it looks like something I'm going to enjoy. Like I said, I paid $1 for each of these games. Of course, I can't resist finding more glassware. Interestingly, I found this picture at a vendor who usually sells comics and game-related items. Maybe they did a house clear out, or they were selling one of their relatives' things. They had all kinds of glassware in a box. I liked this cute little crackle glass pitcher. This is a different size and shape than some of the other pitchers I have. That's what attracts me to the different ones, and I really love the blue color. I paid $2 for this pitcher. I also picked up this Pewter Giraffe. As you can see here, there are some nice details on this giraffe. I have another giraffe figurine that I got in a bag of figurines at Goodwill, and I just thought this was cute and it was nice to add to my collection. This is marked Spoon Teaks Pewter on the bottom. I paid $1 for this giraffe figurine. I also couldn't resist picking up this set of 3 swans. As you can see here, there's a larger ivory swan with some nice details here, and 2 baby swans. These swans are marked Lenox Made in USA. I thought these swans would make nice trinket dishes or perhaps salt cellars. I'm not really sure. Maybe put some candy in them, but I thought they were really cute. I paid $1 each for the swans. After leaving the flea market, I decided to head to Goodwill. The first games I noticed at Goodwill were 2 electronic battleship games. This version of Electronic Battleship is from 2005, and it's mostly complete and it definitely works. This version of Electronic Battleship was from 2000, and this one is also mostly complete and works as well. Both of these games were marked $2. I decided to get both of these electronic battleship games to make sure I had all the pieces and to decide which one I like best. Speaking of electronic games, I also found this Clue FX game. This game looked really interesting to me, but it is marked $5, as you can see here. I was deciding whether or not to pick it up when I remembered that Goodwill has a deal where you can save $5 off a $20 purchase. I was starting to get close to that number. I knew I was getting close to that number when I spotted this really big Onyx edition of Scrabble. This is a limited edition version of Scrabble that was sold at Barnes & Noble. This one is in excellent condition. It's barely been used, and it's really a cool version of the game. As you can see here, all of the pieces are black and silver, some of my favorite color combinations. This was marked $6, and I decided it was worth it if I could spend $20. I also decided to pick up this anti-Monopoly game. I had seen a different version of this game a few weeks before, and I was really curious about it. It's a very simple game that is based on Monopoly, but it's about trying not to get a Monopoly. Actually, the history of Monopoly is quite interesting. It wasn't intended to be a fun game. It was supposed to teach you that monopolies are bad. This game just makes it more explicitly clear. At this point, I was at $16, so I decided to look in the glassware for a couple of other items. I had spotted this green and blue vase before and had wavered on it. This is probably just one of those florist vases, and they had it marked for $2 when I felt like it should have been more like $1. However, I really liked the vibrant royal colors of this vase, and I thought it would look really nice in my colorful glass collection. So I decided to get this for $2. I also decided to get this simple cream colored vase. As you can see here, it has the logo for the University of New Hampshire. This vase caught my attention because of the logo on the bottom. That looked a little old-fashioned to me, but I'm not really sure if this is vintage or not. I paid $2 for this vase as well. All of those items totaled up to $20, and I saved $5 off the purchase, so that brought down the price of all of the items. As you can see, it was kind of an expensive day, but I was really happy with what I found. Leave a comment and let me know which item was your favorite. Thanks again for stopping by my channel. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. Have a good one. Goodbye.